Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay. So, basically, we will have a light discussion. Okay, not very value loaded type of discussion. So, we'll discuss about the we'll first. I will this discussion will go in this way. Like first, I will say a brief strategy of how to prepare for the anthro, and then we will discuss about the this year question paper, some few selected questions, and how to choose questions, and how to understand question, and how to attempt question. Basically, we will discuss in this regard. So, first, I want to say a brief introduction about me. So, I am Dr. Reena Pradhan, and I have done my MBBS. And in my earlier attempt, I took medical science as my optional subject. However, in this attempt, I took anthro and I qualified the exam and I got IAS. So, this is about me. And anthro, the strategy I would tell in very as much as simplest way possible. So first of all, the books. Every one of us knows the book, standard books of anthro, like that for the physical anthro, that is P. Nath, and sociocultural anthropology. What I am saying those things which I have followed. There are a lot of ways to crack the exam. There are a lot of way to secure good marks in the exam. And but what I am saying is what I have followed. So the basics book like P. Nath and N.K. Vets are book for the sociocultural anthropology. Then Nadeem Hasnani, this 4 5 basic books and selected part of Amber I have studied. And these are the basic things one need to study. And apart from that, it is only the base we need to value added in with this. And for that, I refer the online material of Vishnu sir's and through online soft copy. Topic wise, he provided with very simple notes and presented in a very lucid manner with lot of case studies and mm, uh, the data are like recent data, because in books we what we study the data are very they are not updated. And for that part I referred Vishnu sir's note. And for the case studies part, and wherever I don't understand what is there in book, I refer simply the source note. So what I have done, like where I studied about these basic books, I took notes out of that, and very small notes I took out of that and enriched that note with the source note. Apart from that, because note making is very much important, because without note making we cannot revise these things before in the that gap period, like after the GS and optional, that 4 5 days is very crucial. And if we have notes ready, then we can revise it 2 3 times in that 3 4 days. So it is very important. So first prepare a draft note of yourself. It is better to prepare the note by self. Otherwise you can borrow it from your friends or anyone, but I would still recommend to prepare a draft note of yourself and enrich that note, because then note you are taking that note from the book, so that might not be updated one. So enrich that note with like I suggest to be sir's notes are very good, so you can enrich that note with sir's note. It is the first step. Okay, this is a very fast step. The second step comes like a previous year question. Then open the previous year question and just see the questions, how the BSC is asking questions in the past. Before 2018, the questions were very direct in nature. Like the I feel like I am reading the syllabus and the questions were exactly same before 2000 in 2018 also in that manner. But since 2 years, the nature of questions actually been changed, and it is a more of a brainstorming kind of exercise, more of a analytical one, more of a like on spot thinking kind of a question. So to tackle with that kind of question, you need to be very, very, very thorough with your syllabus. understand. I would emphasize the term understand, because just cramming the things, just mugging up the things won't help. It was helping before 2018, but not now. So it is better to understand the topic very clearly, very crisply understand the topic. No need to mug up lot of things, because in any case you won't write in the examination in that pressure situation. You're not able to reproduce whatever you have studied, those data facts you cannot. That is a very idealistic kind of situation, and it is not possible. So better it is to understand the questions demand, and to understand each and every topic, try to express in your own words. Because if you express in your own words, now there is no tension in the mind, there is no pressure in the mind that what will I read, what will I write in the examination, because you know that whatever the question will be, you can write, because you understand the topic, and the preparation level should be matched to that level. So topic understand, and then I would say, in the examination center, understand the question properly. Because I know one of my friends who already selected in IPS, he got confused whether the question was from sociocultural anthropology or physical anthropology. So UPSC are asking question in such manner that it is very difficult to decipher even from which part of the syllabus the questions is actually. So understand the questions properly, and we will, when we'll discuss about few questions, you will get to know what I am actually intending to tell you. So so it is the further preparation. The first I told about the book, the standard books, and prepare draft notes, and reach with the note with sirs. Like I suggest to prefer enrich your note with sir's note. And then the third step, then the second step, previous year question, obviously. The third step will be the test series. Any of the good test series is good, but I have personally given the Vishnu sir's test series, and the test series should have few components in that. The first is the question standard should be up to the mark, and that should match the UPSC standard. The second thing is uh, proactiveness from that side, to correct and give feedback. So in sir's test series, yes, sir is very proactive. He corrected each and every answer, and within 2-3 days. So when things happened very systematic manner, it gives a strength and it gives enough time to rectify us. So it is also a second component of a good test series, that uh, correction time should be like limited 3-5 days. So, and the next thing I would say, uh, try to improve in each and every test, because it is a self competition. You are beating yourself, nobody else. Keep a proper test reach, and try to learn from your mistakes, and improve that. So it is the basic 3-point strategy, like book. Second is a previous year question, and third is a test series. So it is all about the preparation strategy. But the most important thing I would suggest to secure good mark is few points, like how to choose. Like you have those compulsory questions, nothing can be done. You have to write that compulsory questions no matter what. Whether you know the answer, whether you don't know the answer, that doesn't matter. You have to write, because there are a lot of questions this year, like in the compulsory paper, compulsory questions. 2-3 question I had no idea, but still I wrote, because if you wrote, at least you'll get 1-2 marks, and that is really important. So when it comes to how to choose, the simply saying, it is purely my point of view. You may differ, sir may differ, but it is my point of view. Whenever the questions are from physical anthropology or biological anthropology, the answers are very limited. There is a pinpoint answer. If you wrote that point, then you will get the marks. Most of the time, it is like physical, that biological anthropology, may it be genetics or applied anthropology, or may it be fossil question, or may it be question from primates and all these things. All these come under the physical biological anthropology. So these questions are really mark fetching, and you should actually um, attempt those type of questions, because there are not lot of things, or there is no scope, there is not a open ended kind of question, then one can explore much. If there is a question regarding the adaptation in a cold environment, so their answer is limited. Or there is, like this year there is a question like non-human primate locomotion, so that is something limited answer. So if you write answer systematically, draw some few diagrams, then you will get good marks. So it is better to choose questions from the physical or biological anthropology. That is the most one important point. Secondly, but it is possible when you know all those questions, and then the confusion arises what to choose or what to not. And if you don't know at all the question, there is no point of discussing what to choose or what to not to choose. I'm saying about the ideal scenario where you are well prepared, and you are ready to give the examination. In that situation, I'm saying it is easy, and physical anthropology question is mark fetching. It is easier to attempt, and it is in very few time, like in 8 minutes you will 8 9 minutes you will finish the 15 markers question. So it is wise to attempt those questions. Second thing I would say, whenever there is a questions regarding from the theory part, that anthropological thought, whenever they can ask the question in two different manner. First, either they give the theory, and they will say to explain about this, like this time some culture personality school, the question with it. But sometimes what they did, like they give an anthropologist name, and they asked ki write about the contribution of that particular anthropologist. So I would suggest, when there is a question like write about the like this theory or like cultural personality school, attempt those kind of question again. And when they asked a anthropologist and write and asked about write the contribution of all these what the contribution of this particular anthropologist, again I would suggest don't write that question, because we never know na ki how much they have contributed, because our knowledge is limited. No, we are not an anthropologist per se, we have just prepared for 1 2 years, and we are appearing for the examination. We don't know really, there is a ocean of knowledge. They may be contributed in that field, they have may contributed many field work, we don't know. Whatever we are know, we are very limited. So it is better to skip that type of question which is based upon a single anthropologist and 15 20 markers question. But when reverse type of question, like write about the culture personality school or write about the evolutionism, this kind of straightforward question, you should go for that. Okay, the next thing I would say, uh, what to do when there are we many times we faced a dilemma in the question paper, where we knew two question very perfectly. Okay, a must type question we knew, and the third option we don't have any idea. So it is a kind of situation. And the next situation, like we know each of the questions, but not uh, very perfectly, but we know like adha adha type few something we know about every question. So it is a very confusing state what to do. So I would again suggest ki go for that two best, that two best question, and one you can manage something, because I believe that if you are study for 1 2 years anthropology, you can write definitely something you can write. So better go for that two set question where you are very well versed, and third question just try to write something. It is a better way to get more marks rather than uh, attempt the question where you know something about all these questions but nothing perfectly. So again, that is a type of question. And so it is a how to choose the question I told, and try to attempt more question from physical, biological, anthropology, and obviously from archaeology, and try to avoid questions if possible, from the socio-cultural anthropology, because again I'm saying this because maybe it is because of my background, having medical graduate, I am most comfortable in biology, and that's why maybe I'm saying like that. But still, I knew many people from a diverse background, like engineers background, they have also the same kind of opinion, like physical or biological anthropology related question face good marks. So it is up to you. I am not forcing you to take all my points. Just listen, try to think, and if you feel like what I am saying is maybe useful for you, then take it. So uh, one another thing I want to highlight, like the questions that are actually asked by UPSC in these recent days is like not pertaining to any single topic. What they are doing, they are combining few topics in a single questions. May it be some part of physical anthropology with the sociocultural one, or maybe two part of sociocultural one. They are combining. For example, in this year, they have asked a question like marriage rules and gene pool. So it is a combination of sociocultural anthropology and biological anthropology. And another question they asked about, that is a very interesting question. Uh, they asked what is that? Just a question I'm saying. They asked about how is the construct of power linked to the notion of conspicuous consumption and its impact on distributive justice? So again, this is a not from any single topic. Rather, I would say it is a part of political anthropology and economic anthropology. So two parts of the sociocultural anthropology they have combined. There are people asking me questions, but I will take all these questions after I explain all these things. Okay, so this kind of question they are asking. So it is, so you have to be very innovative actually to write such kind of question. These questions are very good. This, in fact, this construct of power and distributive justice was the favorite questions of me this year. So what you should do, like I have listed something, like first go through the syllabus and understand the topic clearly. Second, prepare a list of case studies. Okay, prepare a list of case studies, like 30, whatever, 30 case studies, and 20, 30, whatever maybe. Prepare the case studies. And what you have to do is uh, brainstorming, like try to pick a question, try to pick a topic from a syllabus, and whatever you have written the case study, you just exercise your brain which case study will fit in this question, which case study I can. So you have some limited case study and try to use this case study in a different way. Okay, I don't remember, don't mug up like यही केस स्टडी होगा तो यही क्वेश्चन होगा तो यही केस स्टडी दूंगी, ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है एग्जाम में. ओके, because in examination you have to be very innovative. You don't know how to write, because the question you are seeing in the examination maybe you are seeing for the first time. So it is like you have some ready fodder material of case study, and before exam you try to like how to use this case study in a different manner. Okay, that need to be practiced. So choose a topic, choose a previous year question, and try to brainstorm which case study will fit in this part, which case study will fit in that part. So you have to exercise your brain more upon before exam, because in examination you can do these things in the for the first time. If you are very prepared and very well versed with this exercise, mind exercise, then only you can write. So coming to the questions, I will discuss 2 3 interesting questions of this year. Like these questions were not very difficult, but the thing is like what I feel is the question, the words, the nature, the framing the question is actually like it is UPSC. यार मतलब they won't say the question, frame the question in a very direct way because people are getting smarter days by days, and it is not the case of 2018 where you will get the question directly. So we have to be, a step ahead to get good marks. Um, Again, I will discuss this question. How is the construct of power linked to the notion of conspicuous conjunctions and its impact on distributive justice? I read this question 3, 4 times in the examination, and I was still confused after the exam also, whether I have written the right thing or not. So basically, this question is very simple. It was asking about two part. Okay, conspicuous conjunction and distributive justice. If we analyze the thing now, it is basically thing about the you're saying about the system of potlatch. Okay, where in that now people that cheap used to burn the valuables things and just to showcase his like reputation and all these things. Now I don't remember exactly the film anthropologist name who have worked with that tribes and all these things, but the basic essence is that you have to write about the in this question how the construct of power, like today's time, how the construct of power is meaningful and how it is in the further tribes, because in the further tribes that kind of chiefdom or that single and this system of state and power is not that much rigid like us. But in this situation in today's time, who is very powerful, they have those resources, they enjoy the resources, but in that particular question in tribes, the potla system, what the chief actually do, they actually is kind of distributive justice, because whoever burned more or whoever destroyed, their reputation will increase. So it is in a way promoting the equality and promoting the equity, distributive justice. So you will write different kind of things, like you can give examples, like you can make diagrams like cheap A, B, C, and A is giving something. Like in a cheap dom, what they did, what they do, they collect the different things from the different individual, they intermix, and then again they redistribute. So it is the work of a head of a political system, of a chiefdom system. So you can give example of Bonda tribe, you can give even example of the work done by Brownies Komolensky in that Tropri and Icelanders. They have also some kind of fest, annual fest, where the chief used to give, food to everyone, the valuables to everyone. So there are a lot of examples here and there. Again, I am emphasizing the thing that the has and nothing is prefix answer, because you can give examples from different you can give examples from paper 2, you can give examples, any tribes or any certain practices. There is a so the you won't find any kind of ready-made answer to this question. You have to be innovative, you have to be think. Like first you have to understand that the question was asking about the potlatch system also. Okay, that is very important, because in that potlatch system that chief also do this kind of thing. So this question is basically considering about the how in a tribe that whoever has in the helm of affair try to ensure that it is a kind of equal society. Okay, but it is not like modern society, where modern society there are a lot of inequality, lot of power distance between different people who have a power resources at their disposal. They enjoy it a lot, they consume those resources. But in a tribe society, or a band society or a tribe or chiefdom, that is not the case. In this question you have to mention about the different work done by different that studied Franz Boas studied the system, Potla system, if I am not wrong, for the first time, and many other anthropologists also. So you have to mention the anthropologist name, you have to mention different tribes name, you have to draw different diagrams to make the answer most appealing. But in the gist, in a nutshell, they are asking about that potlatch system actually. In the next question I want to discuss is like how can synergizing the core branches of anthropology reinvigorate the holistic spirit of the discipline? Again, it is one of the best question. It is a very it is a question one can innovate. There are nothing called fixed answer to the question. One can write lot of things. One can innovate whatever best possible way possible. So like this is very easy to answer this question. In the first part we have to write about simply the different branches of anthropology, and then what I did was like I combined how how biology and sociocultural anthropology I mixed, and I wrote about some paragraphs and give some case studies like how different tribal practices leads to deterioration of the health, like kutia kun they don't go to hospitals because they believe that they are no tribal belief is there कि if they go to hospital some kind of bad thing will happen. So different kind of examples you can give. So uh, it is basically saying how the concept of culture can impact the physical health of a person. So in this way you combine the two things. Next you can combine the sociocultural and through with the archaeology, and that's come the ethnoarchaeology. Okay, ethnoarchaeology is a part of the second paper, but here you can write because there's no fixed answer. No, sociocultural anthropology and archaeology, when you combine then comes ethnoarchaeology. Ethnoarchaeology from the second paper you can give example. There are tribes of Nicobarese tribes, there are example of Juang tribe. So there are a lot of example you can do that. Again you can combine with the language linguistic anthropology and sociocultural anthropology to, and again whenever you are writing something na, make it very clear, make it very the visibility should be there so that they can understand, because this is an open-ended question. If you keep on writing, then may not be understand by them. So make things easier to understand. Whenever you are writing something like these two branch, just make a box, write something in a flow chart. Whenever you are writing case study, do a box of that, so they so the visibility will increase, no? And this kind of examples, this kind of combination you can like you can make up your own and answer this question, which is a very easy question because there are a lot of things to write. Again I am emphasizing the thing, no, okay, prepare that 30 case study. I don't know in where I will write this case study, but that should be in the prepare in my mind. Whenever I feel like that, तो इस case study इसमें fit हो जाएगा, so just put it. There are no hard and fast rule to write, just understand the topic properly. The next question is a very simple question, yet it is very difficult to interpret. How have the interpretation and the presentation of data changed from classical to contemporary writings in anthropological texts? Okay, it sounds very heavy. But basically, it is saying about the how the anthropology, like anthropological text emerged. No, ours there is still how it is very clearly mentioned in our syllabus. Like first we are like secondary source armchair anthropologist. Then we came with the field work. Field work में फिर आ गया आपका case study, questionnaire, schedule, lot of things. Then evolved like participant observation. Participant observation, you have to highlight about obviously the Bronislaw Malinowski and his work. Again, next. You can give example where they have worked the certain tribes in the anthropologist name, and you can write this question in a timeline manner also, like arrow format and making box, because it will look more appealing. Then again after this work, then comes the most like weird part, like postmodernism. No, postmodernism, what they say, they don't accept this theory because they believe that these are of subjective nature. Okay, so they simply saying that these are like utterly nonsense. Again, there are two schools, one that completely rejects, and one they like they accept it to certain extent, but they want reform. So this the way the like data collection has been changed from past to present. But if the question were framed in a such a manner that it is very difficult to understand what actually it is saying, but in a nutshell, it is just saying about how the theories of anthropology emerged. Okay. About apart from that, like any other question, if you want to discuss, then I can say. Otherwise, other questions were very easier kind of things. Again, one more question. How do marriage rules impact the gene pool of population? So marriage rules, you know, everyone marriage, we have studied a lot of things on marriage. So we know the marriage rules, endogamy, exogamy, all these things, marriage rules. Uh, then how this gene pool? Okay, what is gene pool? Gene pool is something the combination of the all total gene of a population in that area. That is gene pool. And how this endogamy or exogamy affect those gene pool? So it is a very easy question. No, if there is endogamy, then continuously endogamy, you have to keep like tribe's name. I don't remember now tribe's name, but you have to certainly keep the tribe's name who are practicing this endogamy, who are practicing the exogamy. So whenever there is endogamy continuously, then it is very not, it is obviously na the homozygosity will increase, the homozygous the like yeah, that uh, in the long term the better one will persist. But that recessive trait, okay, the recessive trait will express more if you continuously go for the inbreeding. Okay, so that is obviously detrimental. You can give example of sickle cell anemia in different tribes, or you can give the examples of like six finger dwarfism in a tribe. There are a lot of examples you can give. When there is continuous inbreeding, it leads to the recessive, that recessive trait will be more expressive, and that is bad in the short term. But there are again studies like in the long term, whenever you continuously practice the inbreeding, there are also examples, many examples where continuously practicing for 100 and 1,000 years altogether, the all the recessive trait will eliminate it eventually, and finally the more better equipped one will be remain. So this kind of dynamics you have to show, and you have to connect with the marriage rules and the gene pool. It is as simple as that. So don't go with a fixed mindset that ये नोट में था तो मेरे को ऐसे ही लिखना है, like I have to reproduce exact replica in the examination. And don't worry about if you have not written very exactly with your note, then also fine. Examiner is not going to check how you have how much matching with your note. It is basically about how you understand the question and how you present the question, logical, and wherever you are putting, whether you are putting the logical case study to that particular question, it is all that matter. Nobody is going to asking, nobody will check whether you have written 10 points or whether you have missing 1 point. Nobody is going to count. It is make things very simple, understand the things, and go with a very very open mindset, and try to think more, try to write more, think more. Just don't mug up things, just don't run behind multiple sources. Because in this year also now I have not written 2 3 question, I don't have any kind of idea, but still I wrote something, I got decent mark. Obviously I won't say I have I scored 300, but I have got good marks around 280 anthropology. So it is a fairly decent score. And just it is as simple as that. Don't make it complicated. And you pick good case studies from search, that compilation of case studies, and choose whatever you can write in the examination. Just make a note out of that, select 30 case studies, and try to write in a different way. Study less, write more, explore more. Don't study much. If you study much, no, you can't write. If you study less means that doesn't mean that you don't study all the topics. It means that simply stick to your note. Make note with input from various source, but once you make note, na, just stick to that. And after that, try to innovate in a best possible way, because there is a no particularly clear answer of anthropology. Like I hope that in this year 2021 or the times to come 2022, they will again follow the same pattern of asking the questions randomly. So be prepared for that. It is very easy. Just strength of mind is needed, and that's all for the anthropology preparation. So I'm just now taking few questions that you people have asked me. So let me see. Okay. The first question from Aina Parthi. I'm sorry if I am pronouncing not perfectly, because maybe it's not my mother tongue. So you have asked me like, ma'am, which prelims test series did you do? Okay. Uh, subs like you have to first do the previous year questions 2 3 times. Okay, from that 1995, I I would say ki I would say that I have appeared thrice, like in the examination, and I have scored very good marks in the prelims examination. Always 10, 15, 20 marks, even more than the cutoff. So I think that what work has worked for me may work for you. It is better to solve 3 times the previous year question from 1995, because I won't say that the question will repeat exactly the same way. There are it also happens that, but if at all that doesn't know the options or the question that you have seen, no, it will be no imprint in your mind, and it will help certainly to eliminate the options in your real exam. And apart from that, test series, any kind of good test series, any kind of good test series, like right, any one good test series will help, but focus more on previous year question. If you are like you have done with your previous year question for 2 3 times and you are very much confident, then start the test series. Otherwise, don't run for 2 3 test series, neglecting the previous year. Hope it is clear. Okay, hope it is clear. Okay, so how to mention? Then the question from Nikhil: how to mention relevant examples in paper? Okay, sorry, ma'am. Will there be questions on current events? Okay. Uh, yes, that can be, but as far as the anthro paper is concerned, I I have actually don't I no idea that I don't think so. Okay, any question single-handedly focusing on a single current event topic, I don't think so. But reference you can obviously keep. Like in second paper, they have asked a question of Aryan invasion, so you can definitely write about that some kind of iron chariot, so Singrauli or somewhere they have been discovered, or some kind of gene chromosome number of kind of that is kind of some examples you can give. But I don't expect that any question basing upon the current event only will come as a question, but certainly you can give as example. uh, Another question is, ma'am, kindly give some insights on ethics and essay. Okay, so it's a very funnier experience. Like when I wrote the exam for the first time, and mains for the first time, and I was not prepared. Just very bare minimum preparation I took. I just wrote some, just a I just remember some quotes and that's all. And I just gave examination. Like I scored 140 marks in this essay paper, and it was very good score in 2018. So I thought I am very good in writing no essay. And what I did in 2019, no, I tried to become no like मतलब कुछ चमत्कार सा कर दूंगी टाइप, बहुत अच्छा लिखूंगी टाइप करके I just copied something from few coaching institutes that ready fodder material. Okay, and that backfired me. I scored very, very poorly in the essay paper, and that was the reason why I didn't make it to the list in 2019. So I would again say, no, essay paper, you every individual has its own style of writing, and don't try to copy. Don't try to copy. If you don't have any idea regarding how to write the essay, you can just go like on deep research search essay. You can find that on Google, but still I would say develop your own style of writing because it reflects your originality, and they award for the originality. And this year, no, I went the examination center with a very open mindset कि यार मेरे को टॉपिक सही से समझना है, like I should not understand the topic in a reverse manner. That was the foremost concern about me कि topic सही से समझना है. And second thing was like I wanted to explore the topic in the maximum possible way. Okay, and explore. Once you are exploring the topic, once you are opening a sub part, then close it also. Then don't open, and then you randomly conclude. Don't do that. There should be no logical exposition, because uh, uh, if you are writing something, if you are giving an argument, then prove that argument, give examples, substantiate, and then close that topic. Again open a argument, again close. So that is like a logical flow. Don't no, don't try to mimic anybody's answer, don't anybody's style in the market. Don't give a lot of importance to the ready fodder material that is available to you for the essay. Because if you are preparing for the GS now, you have enough content, enough data, enough facts. Try to develop your own style. Go write at least 5 6 essay before examination. It is possible, then give a test series. It is always better. And if at all, if you are not giving test series, uh, about note making, no, I would say first study 3 4 times. 3 4 times. Just don't make notes the very first time you have read the book, because it will be again a book. So 3 4 times study, then make notes of that thing which you think that you can't remember without making notes. How many months before you started for the test series for the prelims, ma'am? Yeah, they depend upon individual to individual. And for me, I would say I took dedicatedly 2.5 months before prelim. I dedicated my preparation for the pre. Ma'am, can you explain your timeline of your preparation? People they see like I was a working professional, no, I was a working day, I was working doctor, so I don't have a proper time that I can follow very strictly. But still, I would say first prepare for your mains, first prepare for your GS, then optional, and then prelims. It is the ideal scenario, I would say. If you are very serious to qualify the examination is very fast attempt, then first prepare for the GS, mains, then optional, and then GS prelims. Your current affair compilation source. I used to read newspaper on a daily basis, but I doesn't make note because I believe that it is not possible. I just keep on reading newspaper and monthly compilation. I studied Vision IS monthly compilation and a monthly one. And I doesn't make a note. I don't make note of out of that because of paucity of time. I just study multiple times. Manage completion of anthropology paper in actual exam. You have to write 5 6 tests before the actual exam. You will get to know that. How you prepare CSAT. CSAT is very challenging, very difficult. Don't neglect the CSAT. I have seen many people who are clearing with a good margin the GS, however, they are not clearing the CSAT paper. So what you have to do is you don't you can't read any all those mathematics starting that is mentioned in the syllabus. Just few you just open last 5 years question and solve it, and that will be enough because you will get insight of overall how to uh, attempt this question. And don't go with a mindset यार मेरे को मैथ्स आता है तो मैं मैथ्स करूंगा, मेरे को इंग्लिश आता है तो इंग्लिश करूंगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. एग्जाम में कुछ भी हो सकता है. जस्ट क्वेश्चन गो, जो आता है कर मतलब ट्राई टू डू दैट. जो नहीं आता है स्किप करो और लास्ट 5 years का प्रिपरेशन करके जाओ सी सैट पेपर के लिए. Revision strategy. Yeah, again, revision strategy will happen no only if you have the scripts note of your own. Otherwise, you cannot open the all together books and you will keep on revising. Try to make shorter and shorter possible note till you exam reach the examination. You should have those shortest possible note with you. So to be if for the effective revision. While I was working, how many hours on the daily basis. Sometimes it is a 4 hours I can manage. Sometimes it is 12 hour also. That depend upon the nature of duty I was assigned on that particular day. But on a daily basis, 4 hours minimum, 4 hour of dedicated preparation I was doing. Prelims GS questions are becoming unpredictable. Yeah, that is a like much hype things. Unpredictable नहीं है यार मतलब you understand the thing. You just go basic, you just very thorough with your basic, do previous your question, do one test which you will definitely get to clear it. It is like unpredictable, still 10,000 people clear my exam. It is unpredictable because people are getting smarter. No, how will UPSC will eliminate, but still no, you have to clear the examination with a 5 marks minimum margin. These three simple step will basic books, previous year question multiple times, and test series. You can do it, but understand the thing, don't mug of things. I would repeatedly saying that conceptual clarity. Okay, so I think I have answered much of your concern. You can ask your like anthropology related queries to sir. Sir is very sir can like very friendly. He will uh, tell. He obviously very experienced person, anthropology concerned, as far as anthropology and all this matter concerned, because sir has helped me not only in anthropology but during my uh, GS interview preparation also. So uh, it is this much I know. I don't know much about anthropology. I have given 2 attempts with anthropology. I have studied for 2 years anthropology, and I don't have much knowledge, but I believe that knowledge से ज़्यादा important exam clear करना है, and we have to be more practical while preparing for the anthropology. CSAT 5 year का question करना पड़ेगा to give to being about that confidence. From which college? I studied in a government college in Odisha, very good government college. His name is V. Surendra Sai Medical College. Okay. I think we have discussed many of your queries and hope you gain something from me today. And sir has told me to take a few classes also for you, but actually our foundation course has started and it is very hectic schedule, and without preparation how can I take a class? uh, so I'm sorry for that, but still in any Sunday or any kind of like छुट्टी वाला दिन अगर possible होता है, then I can take a class of from that biological anthropology gene genetics related question, how to write that. And this is all from my side, and I hope you learned something today, and it will if like you think that this whatever I have told will help you, just think, don't imitate whatever I have think, you just don't, you apply your brain, and if you think that it will work for you, then definitely you like incorporate my things, and I'll be glad. That's all from my side.